My name is Sudhir and you're watching your digital classroom study with Sudhir. Now the CBSE, if you notice, has changed the format of its English examination paper quite a lot. More number of multiple choice questions, MCQs, have been introduced. In class 10, the number of sections has been reduced from 3 to 2. In contrast, there hasn't been that kind of a change as far as the ISC English language and English literature papers are concerned, which is why I believe that the approach of the ISC student towards the two English papers has to be very different from your friends who are in the CBSE stream. Now, many students of Study with Sudhir, student subscribers, have been asking me what kind of approach should we have in order to be able to write the questions effectively. We already did a video on how to write the perfect answer, what kind of content you should write, what kind of preparation you should do as far as the English language paper is concerned. Now, I believe at this stage, with just about 3 odd months to go for the final examination, one thing that you need to now do is to look at how toppers have written their answers in the past, 2020, 19, 18, 17, at least the last 4 to 5 years, what kind of content they wrote, what kind of answers they wrote, especially with connection with the English literature examination, and also the kind of essays they wrote, the kind of proposal writing they did, the kind of article writing they did in the English language paper. And that's where I believe 2 question banks that I've been looking at in the last 3 weeks, I think are very effective. One is this one as far as the English language paper is concerned, printed by Oswald Books, and the second one is with connection with the English literature paper, that is the English 2 paper. Now these 2 books, and I'll tell you exactly why I think these are very useful, question banks and solved papers. Now if you look at the literature paper, for example, most of the answers are written by the toppers exclusively for Oswald Books, so that makes it indeed very special. I'll just take out the pages where the papers have been solved. For instance, this is the 2019 paper with the answers of the toppers being included. This is what you see in the handwriting of the toppers themselves, right? This is the 2019 answer. Similarly, 2019 answer specimen has been given and 2017 papers have also been solved. Same is the case as far as the English language paper is also concerned. There also you see a whole lot of, for instance, these kind of things. Say for instance, this is the 2017 paper and you could see the answers, the toppers answers written by the as far as the essays are concerned. So you would get an idea about how the introduction is given, how the body is written and how the essay is concluded, and that I think is a very useful exercise for each student to undertake at this stage of your preparation. Now, apart from these toppers answers, the other important aspect is revision notes, because you obviously will not be in a position to keep on reading the text, given the fact that some of the stories are really long, like the Chinese statue, quality, the singing lesson. They're all very long stories, so you would need to look at revision notes, concise notes, if you have not prepared those notes, or mind maps for each chapter. So those come in handy and they're all included in both these books. In fact, the other important aspect which I found useful from the student's point of view are the examiner's comments. In fact, I would put them right on top because they are not about what you should do. More importantly, it is about what you should not do, and that comes in very handy because they tell you what common mistakes students make and what you should avoid, and that will kind of put you in a frame of mind that these are a no-no, and if you happen to make those mistakes, you will lose marks. The evaluators are not likely to take kindly to those kind of mistakes. So the examiner's comments is again something very, very important. Now, in each of the answers, the examiner's tips actually highlight the mistakes many students make, and this is specifically important as far as the language paper is concerned, because the language paper, I must tell you, and I've been telling your class 10 juniors also, that students lose marks for even small things, errors of grammar, errors of language, spelling mistakes, grammatical mistakes. They tend to lose marks. When it comes to literature, the examiners are a little more lenient, but when it comes to language, they are very strict, so you cannot afford to make any grammatical or any spelling mistake. So that's where the examiner comments come in very handy, because they specifically tell you what kind of common mistakes are made in the question number 1, question number 2, part A and part B, also as far as the comprehension is concerned. So on my recommendation list, many of you have been asking me for a very long time, and I wanted to take my time because I wanted to be sure about the books that I recommend. These two books, as I said, pertaining to English literature and English language. As I said, I have pointed out what are the aspects that make these books a good buy in order to be able to prepare you well, or at least help in your entire preparation and revision schedule, given the kind of questions which are quite exhaustive, which are given in these two books published by Oswald Books. I also happen to actually pass on these books to a couple of students to see what their feedback was, whether they would also find it useful. And I must say this, I must point out that the feedback from both the students was very positive. Thank you very much for watching.